The new Venom trailer sucks. Like, I've learned to accept that Spider-Man will not be in this origin. I can accept that this is probably a bad sign. Sony is still keeping up with their Spider-Man shared universe nobody wants. But the thing I cannot accept is the general fact that they have lied to us up until this point. Everything they tried to make it seem like was this was going to be a horror movie. This was going to be scary. This was going to be dark. This was going to be violent. Venom's not a hero. We're not going to make him into one. And you know what? That first teaser trailer kept that up. It didn't show us Venom. I didn't need to see Venom. I don't even know why we're getting a full trailer before like July. But here we are, and at least based on this trailer, they done fucked. Because what is Venom in this? No, he's not a scary monster. Eddie Brock's not actually a horrible person. No, he's just the good old journalist just trying to help the little guy and get the great story out there. Yeah, because, you know, that's what I want to see in my movie called Venom. And then we get the symbiote, and it's just like, we're only gonna kill bad people, but a generic-sounding voice in your head says, let's do whatever we want. Give me a break. Like, yeah, there's a couple creepy and scary scenes in the trailer, and we do see him at one point with the pills, maybe making it seem like this might be an addiction. I doubt it. This very much feels like it's just going to say it's dark and it's going to say it's scary just to get maybe, say, specific comic fans in there or people who don't really care about the sort of superhero craze. But no, very clearly this looks like it's going to be a general audience grab with, oh, he's a good guy, he's an anti-hero. It probably won't even get the R rating, just be PG-13, and it's just going to exist to set up more sequels that nobody wants and nobody will ask for. Sorry, I know that's a weird way to start off this video, but it's been bugging me. So anyways, here we are on to, actually we got a couple little things of housekeeping to talk about, a couple apologies to make. First up, last week I called Go 2.0 a gay Brazilian stripper. That was wrong of me. I found out from my Brazilian viewers that that was the wrong assumption to make. I apologize. We all know he actually looks like a Colombian gay stripper, but that's another thing entirely. The other thing is, I incorrectly thought that we were getting a Goki fusion last week, though I do think that we could see the other main characters use other summoning methods. That is actually the fusion monster used by this guy from Vrains, or Arc 5. Do you remember him? Could he have been from Vrains? You know you don't know. Come on, admit it. This seems to be part of Konami's bizarre continuing attempts at legacy supports. Although, why would you give an archetype no one cares about its cards in real life now? Like, if you want to do this as legacy support, wait 10 years. Like, the thing is, what made it getting cool to get Weevil stuff, and Jesse stuff, and Crowler stuff, and Pegasus stuff, that was cool because we hadn't gotten it. You have these fans of these older cards. Rather, it's because they've kept them for all these years, or because they got into things through Duel Links, so it's cool to see them get rewarded and finally get new stuff for it, and also bring the cards into the modern age. Obviously, this works better with, say, Ancient Gears and Crystal Beasts, which already had kind of their own niche they occupied. But why release this now? Like, just, I don't know. It's not that important. Anyways, as for this week's episode, this is weirdly an interesting transition into this episode because this episode did try to make a character who could get thrown to the wayside become relevant because we met Soulburner, or he got his big debut. Obviously, we met him at the beginning of last week's episode, but here he is doing his thing, and even though I'm worried he's going to go into the Vector, Bruno, and Jesse direction, I'm kind of interested for now, tentatively. First up, the actor they got did a really good job. This is the guy who is... Frick, I'm blanking on everything I literally just read. It's here, the notable stuff that I like that he's done. But essentially, this is a guy who very clearly gets being in shonens. He understands how to play it in something like this, he understands how to make it work, and he really sells it. The other thing that sells it is the music. I really love this guy's score. It's very uniquely different from everyone. It's fun, it's fast. It's got a lot of good chords in it. It's very clear that it feels like the concept to this guy is what if Yusaku got over it, or at least if he tried. Like, this guy seems to, it's very obvious he was also in the Lost incident, and he seems to have been wanting to move on, or at least based on what we've seen in marketing. He chooses to be happy, he chooses to move forward, and most likely the character dynamic between him and Yusaku will be that he's the opposite. I mean, I'd rather they have done this with Aoi, or Go, or Akira, as basically this will now be the fourth character in this show who is sad childhood backstory, but this is how I move on. But this guy fits the target demographic more so. Here we are. I like Flame. I think it could be really fun if they do a lot of unique things with the idea that Flame is more computer-esque compared to or Ignis. I guess I should really start calling him as Ignis is what he is, less of a name, but I like calling him Ignis, so we'll see where that goes. But nah, that was a neat way, and I thought it was a fun little meta way to get through the exposition at the beginning. Like, just have it that this is what he does. He just explains everything. He doesn't have really any spirit to him. He just takes everything literally. I think that could be a lot of fun. And the duel was fun. First up, it's cool to see fire and water be used. Those are actually the two least most represented types in the attributes in the whole game, mostly because they're obviously the most specific concepts. So it was cool to see them get new stuff, and it's kind of cool new stuff. The Salamander archetype, let's just call it that for now, is kind of a neat little mixture of fabled and volcanics, and the reincarnation link is an interesting idea. I don't know if we'll necessarily see it get fully utilized in the real TCG, especially considering most overpowered links are one-ofs. But I'm sure in 5 years they'll do like the Zodiac thing and it'll be a tier 0 nonsense. The other deck was also interesting. First up, token generation, always good. Link markers that move, also always good. So that can be neat. I don't really see the point in having the robots fuse. I get that they wanted to use the skill twice, but it would have been cool to see Soul Burner just wipe out 2 people. I feel like we haven't had a good 1v large number of disposable characters duel in a long time, and they can be entertaining. Actually, I think it was because the last one was Yuri v everyone using GX decks, and Yuri can do no wrong in my eyes, even though he did many wrong, horrible things in his series. But that is a discussion for another day. Yeah, it was a neat duel. I did like that. Shut up. Soul Burner was put in a position where just top decking a card he wanted didn't actually help. He top decked the monster reincarnation. It could have been used to help him get more stuff out, but he didn't. He was put in a spot where he had to put himself in a risky position, and that was use his skill, which pushes him down to 100 life points. This is a nice little contrast to Yusaku, who's very calculating, who's very methodical. This guy is maybe a little bit more rambunctious, maybe a little bit more explosive, and it's neat to sort of see that difference. Although it makes me wonder, why doesn't everyone just do his draw skill? Like, seriously, just do the draw skill. The only life point that matters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is your last one. Everyone would just do the draw skill. But, nah, it was fun. I liked it. The monsters he uses are cool, so there's that. They at least look cooler than Cybers. As for, well, actually, they are Cybers. You get my point. Then we get the scene with the kid and Yusaku catching up to him. I'm a little worried that we're gonna just do a repeat of the last arc. Here's this super smart rival guy, and he's got a big fancy plan, and he's gonna randomly show up and take shit, and you'll find out what that is in 40-something episodes. I'm a little worried it's gonna go in that direction again, but I'm gonna live with hope for right now. But what did you think? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on this episode. If you're really interested in Soul Burner, if you're worried he could go down the generic route, and what you're looking forward to. 2 other little things. Next week is going to be at least it'll probably be next week, the Card Fight Vanguard, what it has to do to succeed. How does the reboot fix itself? What's it got to do? If anyone has any ideas for how you would fix Card Fight Vanguard, because I got a list, but I want to see what some other people have to say. Tell me that below. And other thing, TCG question of the week, right. So this weekend is the Flames of Destruction sneak peek. And what are you looking for? Do you want to get the Nightmares early so you can maybe sit on them to sell them? Are you hoping for some of the other, more experimental archetypes? This is obviously a better set than the last two, or at least I think so. And let me know that below. Personally, I want the Nightmares, but seeing as 2 of them are secret rare, and things are usually their highest in Sneak Peek Weekend, I probably won't be getting them. But tell me that below, and as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and let's sit here and hope Venom is good. Oh wait, if Venom is bad, that means Sony might just give up Spider-Man altogether. Let's hope Venom does whatever we need it to do.